Okay, folks, we're going back into the Wayback Machine. After the incredibly slow pace of the battery drainer system, I'm getting tired of not being able to ride the electric bike because of this, the comatose lead acid battery system after I tried to bring it back to life. So I'm going to attempt a few more charge cycles and try and breathe some life back into it. Hopefully that's all it needs, is kind of the finishing charge thing that gets installed at the battery factory that makes it actually act like a battery. So I'm going to take it all apart and charge it up under careful, watchful eye, and we'll see where we get. Okay, a couple of these cells had some pressure on, the caps popped off, so I thought I'd check the voltage. We're still really good at 60.2 volts. This thing's been sitting in the parking lot of my condo for months, and we haven't lost any voltage, but I don't know. Let's keep checking. Okay, almost every single rubber cap had some hydrogen pressure under it. As I took them off, some of them popped off, some of them just had a curved top showing the underneath pressure. So I'm going to run this through the charger and see what happens. I also had a stroke of genius, which was, since I've had a non-working electric bike for months, why don't I just go ahead and buy Toyotron's lithium battery pack? That way I have a working bike with longer range, and when I finish my pack, then I have two, and I can compare and contrast the underlying technologies, see what things that they did I like and what they did that I don't like and want to improve. So while this is charging, I'm gonna go order that. I think they said it was about, I don't even remember. I'll have to check. It was not a trivial price, but given the range I'm going to get and the fact that I can actually ride my electric bike again, I think makes it all worthwhile. Okay, we're about an hour into the charge. Charger's still going hard, and look at all of the bubbling and the water coming out of some of the cells. I can't believe there's still this much excess water in the cells. But I'll let it keep going and see how we end up. Okay, we are out here on my balcony to do the draining test of the pack. I've got my strip of halogen bulb set up. That's 100 watts of discharge right there, and the pack is currently at 60.8 volts, and I'm just going to run this down and then we'll do another charge cycle and we'll try and get this guy back into health. Better out here on my balcony than inside pumping heat into my room. Also, an update from yesterday, I went ahead and placed an order for the lithium pack from Toyotron. It turns out that it's a 1.5 kilowatt hour pack, so it's only 50% more capacity than that, and it costs 45,000 baht, including shipping, which is about $1,300. Not great capacity, not a great price, but it gets me back on the road, and every little bit helps at this point until I can be sufficient with my own lithium project. So I may end up with 3 battery packs at some point, but that's okay. Okay, dusk is falling. It's 6 p.m. We still have the gentle glow of power and light and heat from the bulbs, and we are down to 53.9 volts. I wanted to stop it at 54, so the timing is good. I'll show you the data that I collected, but I'm going to terminate the discharge right now. Okay, here are the voltages as we went through. Started at 11:30 at 60.8 volts. We had quite a drop down in the first hour. Then it was very steady, 59, 59, 58, 58. And then between 4:30 and 5:30, we dropped down almost 3 volts. And then I could only get another half hour out of it, and it was down another 1.2 volts. So I'm calling those 100 watt hours per hour, 50 for the last half hour. So I got a total of 650 watt hours out of that tired old pack that I did the rewatering attempt. So let's, tomorrow morning, I'm going to put it back on the charger and take it back up again, and we'll exercise this a few times. Okay, we're back inside, and the batteries have popped back up to 58.3 volts, so that's the Poikert effect has caused us to pop back up again. And let's run it through another charge cycle and see how long it takes. Okay, after almost exactly 5 hours, we've finished our charge cycle. The charger is green, we're starting to drift our voltage down, and we had a little bit of bubbling on the cells. You see those two guys there and one down here. Otherwise, it was pretty well behaved, and I'm hoping I can get a little bit of range out of this guy now. So next thing will be to put it in the bike and give it a test. And here we are out in the parking lot. I popped the pack into the bike, and with no load we're at 100%. Got to figure out how to hold this and ride at the same time. We'll just make a loop, switch on. Nut and honey. Well, that didn't work out well. And here we are, back up in the room, bike torn apart. And if I turn on the key, you'll see the infamous 14 flashes off the controller, which says throttle input problem. And we just go nowhere, right? There's the throttle, wheel no turny. So I took the front apart, took the top off to start looking at the throttle cable, which is this one right here, which leads over to this, which leads over to this, and oh, look at that. It looks like, in the desire to fix a problem with shitty connectors, I created a problem that broke the throttle wire off. Sometimes I am my own worst enemy. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay, I stripped enough wire to just kind of stick the wire into the broken wire in the connector, and I'll twist the throttle, and there we are. Medium speed. High speed. All right. Let's get rid of that crap connector and put in one of the good ones. Okay, in the end, I decided just to butt splice these joints and heat shrink them. I can understand why there was a connector, because they buy the throttle from a supplier and then they have to wire it into their system, but I'm not going to be replacing the throttle unless it fails, and putting a big connector in here would just lead to another point of failure. So I just bonded these wires, and I found another broken wire which I have repaired here, and we have motor, which is good, but we do not have headlights, which is weird. But the reverse camera works, or the front and rear camera system works, and that's driven by the same power supply that's in the front that the lights are getting. So I think it's not a power problem, it may be a wiring problem in here. How can wires just go bad sitting in the parking lot? I don't get it. So More investigation. Okay, here's the problem with the lights. After removing some gunky black electrical tape, there's another broken wire. And the other end of it has fallen deep down inside here somewhere, so I need to go hunting for it and fix it again. Okay, after a lot of reverse engineering, I've got the lights working because the wire that broke off, it actually broke off inside that split loom, but I now have low beam, high beam, and off. So let me make sure I can still drive. Yep. All right. Let's put the top back together and get her out on the road. Okay, we're down in the parking lot. Going to take it for its first spin, low power, and I'm going to get a really sinking feeling in a minute based on what I saw upstairs. Let's go. Oh yeah. We're back down to 10% power. I'm at full throttle. I'm barely moving, 22 kilometers. I think short of another few charge cycles for fun that this battery pack is toast. And given the problems I've had with the lithium pack and I'm waiting for my replacement, hopefully I'll be on the road sometime next week, but this one is a goner. Feels good to be on it again, but damn. RIP lead acid battery. As you stare out on my beach, I would ask you to subscribe to my channel and click like on this video so YouTube thinks I'm worthy again, and I have so many people on my channel that they'll give me 10 cents a day in ad revenue. So I thank you for that.